The shotgun blast ripped through the morning quiet, echoing across the hills like thunder unleashed. I dove behind my battered Chevy pickup, gravel spraying as pellets peppered the ground. Standing on my porch, clutching a double-barrel shotgun like it was his only anchor, was the HOA president, Leonard Walsh. His face was a sweaty, scarlet mask of rage. "Join the HOA or get the hell off this land," he roared, voice trembling with fury. Crouched there, heart hammering, I could barely process it. This was my ranch, my home, and this khaki-clad dictator was threatening to take it all. 3 years ago, Ethan Cole, fled the chaos of Dallas. I sold my shoebox apartment and sank every penny into a 50-acre ranch just outside Pine Hollow, a sleepy town where the air smelled of sage and liberty. The land was a vision: rolling pastures, ancient pines, a babbling creek, and a weathered farmhouse craving care. Best of all, it was miles from any HOA's grip. Or so I thought. I wanted a simple life: write my book, raise some chickens, maybe get a horse. No rules about fence colors or grass length, just peace. At first, it was heaven. I spent months fixing the place up: new solar panels, a deeper well, even reviving the faded red barn on the property. I befriended a local mechanic, a grizzled vet named Jack, and started selling eggs at the Pine Hollow Farmers Market. Life was perfect, until it wasn't. One morning, a glossy flyer appeared on my gate, announcing the Pine Hollow Estates HOA. "Dear property owner," it read, "attendance at our mandatory welcome luncheon is required to discuss dues and rules." Mandatory? I tossed it, figuring it was for the cookie-cutter subdivision a mile away, with its matching houses and pet waste stations. Then Leonard showed up, rolling onto my property in a golf cart, clipboard in hand. "Chickens aren't allowed," he said, not looking up. I blinked. "Who are you?" He smirked. "Leonard Walsh, HOA president. Your land's under our jurisdiction now." Apparently, the HOA had exploited a vague county zoning loophole, redrawing their boundaries to engulf nearby properties like mine, claiming my ranch's scenic value gave them the right. I laughed it off. Private land doesn't just get annexed. But Leonard wasn't joking. "Refuse, and you're in violation," he said, driving off. I called the sheriff, who dismissed it as a civil matter. Letters piled up: fines for my barn's color, my fence's height, my unauthorized chickens. One day, I came home to find my driveway blocked by a welded metal gate with an HOA sign bolted to it. Furious, I cut it down with bolt cutters. Leonard returned with 4 men in HOA polos, handing me more violation notices. They sent a drone to survey my land. I shot it down with a slingshot. But the real shock came one morning as I fed my goats. Leonard stormed up, shotgun in hand, boots crunching gravel. "Join or leave," he growled, firing a warning shot near my feet. The air reeked of gunpowder, and I realized this wasn't about rules. It was about control. I stood my ground, hands raised. "You're not shooting me, Leonard," I said, voice steady despite my racing pulse. He didn't lower the gun. "Leave," I bluffed, my lawyers on speed dial and the sheriff's recording this. He hesitated. Then Jack's rusted Dodge roared up, blocking Leonard's truck. Jack stepped out, toothpick in mouth, calm as a man who'd faced worse. "That shotgun for rabbits or stupidity?" he asked. Leonard waved the gun, ranting about legal expansion, but Jack didn't flinch. "This is Pine Hollow, not your kingdom." Deflated, Leonard retreated to his golf cart, muttering, "This isn't over." Jack's warning stuck with me. These HOA types have money and lawyers. They hate hearing no. I filed a police report, but the sheriff brushed it off as a boundary dispute. Desperate, I hired Claire Monroe, a real estate attorney with a vendetta against HOAs after her parents lost their home to one. She tore through my deed and the HOA's filings. "They expanded illegally," she said, grinning. "No consent, no public hearing. They just claimed your land." She handed me a plan. "Gather evidence, build a case, bury them." I turned my ranch into a surveillance fortress, trail cams in trees, audio sensors along fences, a fake rock hiding a camera by the driveway. 2 nights later, one of Leonard's goons crept onto my property, spray painting non-compliant on my chicken coop. I had it all on tape: face, voice, license plate. Claire was thrilled. Every move they make is another nail in their coffin. We compiled a dossier: trespassing, vandalism, armed threats, fake bylaws. I sent copies to the sheriff, the county, and the HOA's lawyers. Then they escalated. One morning, I found my fence posts ripped out, replaced with signs reading "Future Pine Hollow Estates Expansion." Leonard's truck was parked by my gate, flanked by 4 security guards with handcuffs and walkie-talkies. He waved a paper, shouting, "This is your eviction notice." Outnumbered, I gripped my phone, ready to call Claire. As the guards approached, one reached for my door. I twisted his wrist, a move Jack taught me, and barked, "Touch my property and it's assault." Leonard snapped his fingers and they retreated, but not before locking my gate with a padlock. 48 hours, he sneered, driving off. Claire called it criminal, not civil. "We're filing a cease and desist and contacting the sheriff," she said. "Be careful." That night, I slept on the couch, my dog Scout by the window. By morning, an eviction in progress banner hung on my fence, with HOA trucks circling like vultures. Then Jack called, "Backup's coming." 3 pickups rolled in from his land, carrying veterans, big, silent men who'd seen war. One tossed me bolt cutters. We tore down the signs, cut the lock, and welded a new steel gate with a sign, "Private Ranch. Stay off." Leonard returned that afternoon with movers, not guards, ready to haul my belongings. Claire, on speakerphone, warned, "You're committing burglary." Jack stepped forward. "You want to tangle with Marines?" The movers froze, and Leonard stormed off, but the threat lingered. That night, around a fire pit, the veterans warned me, they're desperate enough for worse. Jack handed me a zoning map proving my land was outside the HOA's reach. "They're bluffing," he said. Then my phone buzzed with an anonymous text, "Next time, we won't knock." Before dawn, we fortified the ranch, steel fences, concrete posts, cloud-linked cameras. At 3 p.m., SUVs with HOA logos arrived. Leonard stepped out with a woman in a suit, Margaret Holt, the HOA's compliance director. She waved a court injunction to stop my construction. I spotted the fake signature and sloppy formatting. "Nice forgery," I said, tossing it back. Margaret's eyes narrowed. "You'll regret this." As they left, Claire uncovered a bombshell in the HOA's filings. Their expansion required a public hearing that never happened. Then they struck again. At dawn, Scout's barking woke me. My eastern fence was gone, concrete ripped up, steel twisted. A bulldozer sat parked, with "You were warned" spray painted on my barn. Cameras caught everything, including Leonard watching from an SUV. Claire called it felony vandalism and pushed for a class action lawsuit. Inside the bulldozer, I found a note, "Join or lose your land." That night, I posted a video online, Leonard's shotgun, Margaret's fake papers, the destruction. I ended it with, "This isn't an HOA. It's a takeover." By morning, the video had millions of views. Ranchers, farmers, even subdivision residents flooded my inbox with stories of HOA bullying. An elderly couple, George and Martha, wrote, "They threatened our home. You gave us courage." Claire and I filed an injunction, backed by witness statements and footage. But that night, Leonard appeared at my gate, alone, tired. "Big money's involved, developers, politicians," he whispered. "If you win, you're in danger." I saw fear in his eyes, not power. At 3 a.m., a camera triggered. 2 men in black were digging near my fence. When we flashed lights, they fled, leaving a spreadsheet titled "Next Phase Acquisition." My ranch was circled with a note, "Neutralize resistance before court." The sheriff called it a criminal conspiracy, and Claire pushed for federal court, citing racketeering. Reporters swarmed, and my story went viral. Rancher battles rogue HOA. I told the news crew, this is about bullies with fake rules. I won't back down. In court, Margaret was arrested for forging documents and bribing officials. Leonard sat alone, deflated, as Judge Crawford ruled, your laws don't override state law. You have no claim to Mr. Cole's land. The HOA was dismantled. Leonard and Margaret faced charges, and their office was seized. Volunteers rebuilt my fence, and thank you notes poured in. George and Martha wrote, you gave us our voice. Claire led a task force to protect landowners, and Jack's crew still visits for lemonade on Sundays. My gate sign says it all, private ranch. No trespassing. Not HOA land. This was my war, fought with truth, won with courage, and sealed with a fence that'll never fall. The ranch is mine, the creek still babbles, and Pine Hollow is free again. No one's coming through my gate, not now, not ever.